And when you get stimulated, when your hair follicles get stimulated, here's what happens. So you have 1,000 hair follicles, and let's say under normal circumstances, let's say my upper lip, I would get 2 or 3 hairs in my whole life. But if you have hormonal imbalance, maybe I will suddenly get on my upper lip, and I will suddenly get 50 hair follicles on every square inch of skin, because the hair follicles are stimulated by your bloodstream. And just so you understand, I'll be very quick. Every human hair is connected with 2 blood vessels. So if this is my hair, there are 2 blood vessels. Blood vessels carry 3 things. It carries oxygen, it carries food, and it carries hormones. And if you go bald as a woman, if you go bald, it's because your follicles are dying, because the follicle doesn't get enough blood supply, and your hair and your follicles are dying. When you have overstimulation, in your bloodstream, the testosterone becomes the dominant hormone, and this was the case with my daughter. The testosterone became higher than her progesterone and her estrogen, and it woke up hair follicles. So let's say, for the sake of conversation, that on her legs, on a square inch, she had 150 hair follicles active since she was 14, and then we lasered her for several years and we got rid of all her hairs. But she had another 850 hair follicles that were dormant. And now, because she started hormone replacement therapy, and because it's going this way and that way, and we don't have yet the regulated exact amount of what she needs, or what will work for her, testosterone was higher, and testosterone suddenly stimulated another 200 hair follicles on a square inch of skin, because the testosterone suddenly became the very dominant hormone. And this is what you see. So the hairs that were destroyed before, those are dead. Dead is dead. But you had another 850 hair follicles on a square inch that were dormant, and those are the ones that are waking up. And this is something that every woman has to know, that if you go for hormone replacement therapy, not everybody, some people will get excessive hair growth because the testosterone will be either out of whack or will be higher. I, for instance, was never hairy. I had regular hair. And when I went on hormone replacement therapy, I never had excessive hair growth, never had any hair growth. Now, 20 years later, because I felt that I needed a little bit more oomph, so I started to put, because I don't do pellets, I have a testosterone cream, I have an estrogen patch, and I take a progesterone tablet. And I started to put a little bit more testosterone cream between my thighs, or behind the knee, in the back, so not the front, but behind, wherever you can, you perspire a little bit, that the cream can go in. So that's where I would put it, when I put more. And I suddenly, after 20 years, noticed that I'm getting 2 hairs here, 3 hairs here, I got a kiss, 3 hairs here. So because I pushed the testosterone a little bit up, and therefore I am experiencing now a little bit of hair growth, not like my daughter, because we are also very different. So my daughter had more hairs to start with as a child than I had. So we are 2 different people. So, it's just, that's what it is. It's just how it is. So I just needed to explain it, that women should know that in your 50s or 40s, whenever you go into menopause, and if you choose to go on hormone replacement therapy, you can either be like me and nothing happens for 20 years, or suddenly there can be something like with my daughter, and you suddenly notice that there's hair. So it's not the hair that you lasered. The hair that you lasered is dead, because dead is dead. But it's the hair follicles that were dormant, and probably would have been dormant for the rest of your life, but those are coming now and are woken up, and those are the hairs that she will now have to laser, and that will be for any woman out there. If you get hairs, if you are in menopause, if you go on hormone replacement therapy, if this happens to you, don't despair. You just go back to buy yourself a package of 12, 15 treatments and start doing laser hair removal. Again, I said you always have to weigh the plus against the minus. What is more important? Is the hair the determining point that you will say, I will never do this? or is no migraines, no depression, no mood swings, no hot flashes, no anxiety. You know, you weigh. I take this, I take this. In life, everything is give and take. I'm done.
That's it. That's the moral of the story for this segment.